as if I'm giving to God. Okay, that is one of those parables that Christ shared. When you do this to a list of my brothers, are those who cannot provide for themselves, you do it for me. Because it is not how expansious we are in materialism or how fruitful we have become in our various walks of life, but how have I extended my what? My fruitfulness to others who has not been fruitful. Okay, do I just keep rising and rising alone, or do I also use those my accumulation of wealth? Do I also use it to bring meaning to other people's life? Do I? That people can say, oh, I used to know this man as a beggar. I used to know him with one clothes, but these days he's changing clothes. Have I put a smile in somebody's face? Have I fulfilled the intentions that people look at me and say, oh, how I wish this man is my friend so he can give me? Have I fulfilled the desires of many who have not gotten to where I am, that admire me, that look at me and say, morning sir, good afternoon chairman, good afternoon? Those people who sing our praises, have we looked and called them and said, can you do this job? Okay, there's a vacancy in my office, come and pick it tomorrow. Even when you know they didn't go to school, but you know that these people have acumen, they can be skilled in that field. How many of us can take this position and look around and see people who he can give it to? Yes, we know that some people can cause havoc for us in our workplace, but that is the reason why you should be high in what's discriminating between good character and bad character. That is why you have to be able to study people before you don't just give because you want to give. That's foolishness. You have to look deeply, look within, and use intuition. Okay, so that's a part. How do we relate to God as a friend? As a friend, when we relate to God, we share our weaknesses with him. How do we share our weaknesses? Because friends are who are known as those who keep our secret for us. That is friendship. I share my secret with my friends. He doesn't go about telling it, sharing it to others, because one day I might come somewhere and I'll be hearing that my story with added salt, added maggi, added seasonings and everything, and they will now garnish it with different kind of lies. But I know it's my story is being shared, and I look around, I see it's people that I can relate with, and I'll talk to myself, oh, my friend has betrayed me. The friend we have to keep with God is that friendship that doesn't share our secrets. We go to God in prayer, we share our weaknesses with him, because we know he can't go and start telling somebody, hey, do you know Ifeoma, my child, he did like this? Do you know Chibike, my son, he did like this? God can never go to people and start sharing our secret. That is why when we take God as a friend, you know how friends used to walk together, hands in hands, hands on their neck, chatting and moving in a lonely way, and people will talk, and people will say, what are those two talking? Because you're sharing it with the Father, and he can't share it with anybody. Do you close it and say, I don't know if I will tell him now, he will not give me my daily bread, or he will say this child is? No, we know God is what? Jani Janahe, the one who knows everything. Okay, it's not as if he goes to the bedroom and sees you or follows you about, but it is certain that whatever bad character one is portraying will one day come back to the person, and the person will settle it off. And you can settle it off with shame, so much suffering and pain. So why not relate with God and see that those pain is reduced, and when it comes, or whenever it will come, there is this grace and there is this mercy that placates you to go through it, even while you don't know that you are going through it. You go through it with smiles because you have confessed, you have shared these weaknesses with God. He has understood that the child is weak here, and so whenever such temptation comes, there is a lift. There is a hand that lifts you out from such mistake. And even if you fall, even if your weakness does not allow you to see the hands of God helping you, even if you fall and you still come and share that weakness with the divine, there is 100% probability that when the payoff time comes, you will be able to face that situation. You will be able to face that adverse situation and come out brighter than before. Because so many temptations that comes to us does not come to swallow us. It only comes for us to become better. And it is coming for a purpose. That was the cycle we have gone through, that we have performed ill action. So when the lessons of that ill action is coming, it comes with what? Something for you to learn from. You don't run away from it. You don't shy away from it. You don't eliminate yourself from it. You face it head on. And so the person who can placate you and help you go through that is always there, because you've realized that God is your friend. Okay? And so what other relationship do we keep with God? As a teacher, God comes to teach us, his children. How do I follow in his teachings? So many of us, I'm a Christian, hey, I cannot live Christ till I die. You're a smoker, you're a womanizer, you are a rapist, you're a liar, you're a greedy person, you are selfish, you put others under your slippers, you are jealous of others, you don't uphold them when they have performed good action, you always try to pull them down. You are into all these things, yet you answer it a Christ-like. Does Christ perform his activities in that way? As a Christian, followers of Christ, do I follow in the footsteps of that Christ? Or do I just praise Christ, worship him, give him all the praises and songs and thanksgiving? But I am different. And then you say, oh, nobody is perfect. That is what you are meant to do, to be perfect. No excuse. That is why when they say devotion is for the weak, devotion is for the weak. Oh, pray for us. Oh, God, help me. Oh, this, you're always begging. Assume responsibility. The responsibility of knowing. The responsibility of, yes, I am in charge of this, and this is, give a report of how you have gone through the day, the task given to you. Give account of it. Own to that responsibility. Standing, if there's any mistake, take the liability. Even in taking in the liability, we make you stronger. Don't run away from the liability. Don't run away from the action that you have performed that have gone wrong. Own to it and take the punishment thereof. It will make you to become a better person. Don't run and try to impose it to others. I told these people to do it. In fact, they are the ones that made that mistake. I told them, why didn't you supervise it? Why didn't you make sure it comes out nice? How can you just hand it over and you exempt yourself? It's not done. A good boss will share the punishment equal, and then even the manager will take a lion's share for not seeing that project goes well. So you don't shy away from your responsibility. You people that you are meant to supervise, when they don't do it well, help them, team up, make sure you people achieve something close to perfection. That is why there is guidance. Okay, so as a teacher, the Father is our teacher, and so when we adhere to the teachings of God, what happens? We become good students. We come out with flying colors. We pass the examination of the end time. You will not take punishment. Your status in heaven, in that paradise, will be high. You will become a royalty. You come onto the throne of the world reign. You know, we do have Queen Elizabeth is not the first. We have it by dynasties. Okay, maybe Queen Elizabeth the first, the second, or Prince of Wales the first, or Prince Charles second, or Prince Charles. You know, we have all these things in dynasties. Okay, so according to your status, you will not the Catholic priest who is true, pure to his word to some extent. We have the congregation who goes there pray, and tomorrow he does one thing to his wife, or does, you know, the status will never be the same in wherever they are going to tomorrow. I don't know. The status will not be the same, because there are some frivolities that reverend did not perform, which the householder is performing. And so it's an edge when it comes to status in heaven and in paradise. You people cannot have the same status. It doesn't happen. No way. No way. That's just by the way. Okay. So the relationship we have as God being our guide. Do it this way, do it that way, don't do it this way. You are able to get tuned to God's intervention, to God's direction, to God's pattern. That's having the relationship of God being our guardian. Okay? How many of us allow God to take control in our activities, in our daily activities? How many of us allow God, even when we see that this thing is about to hurt us, and you quickly go to change it so that and face it to someone else so that you can be free? But you know you are the one who committed. The thing is coming to jump out. You say, no, I can't take this, and you shift it to someone else. And then some person will say, oh, what did I do? Okay. Why not just in that minute, in that moment, you see that thing is going wrong, instead of hiding and allowing it to come on others? Why not just commit and say, God, I know I have made this mistake. I'm so sorry. Please, I am so sorry. I know this has happened. There's nothing I can do. Please help me. And so when the mistake is coming to attack you, that's the reward of that mistake coming to attack you, it will become mild. And maybe your guy will like, okay, it's okay, no problem. We see what we can do about it to rectify it. And that's all. Now shifting it to a lower staff, and it might cost her job, suspend, and from there. But because we've come to God and said, that they suspended, that does not mean that you will not get your repercussion. You will get. Okay? So, what relationship do we have with God as a brother? As a brother, God becomes our kinsman, where everybody is against you, where people are jeering, where people are saying, you didn't even know what the person did. You just heard it from somewhere, and you just joined. Immediately, everybody will join forces and come against this one person. If you have God as your brother, as your kinsman, no matter how multitude gather against you, no matter how thousands speak against you, let me tell you, you will remain unharmed. You remain undented. You remain, as clear cut as a diamond, because you have the highest kinsman with you, because you have taken God to be your brother. Okay? So, what's the relationship we have with God as a husband or as a wife? So, what relationship do we have as to God as a husband or a wife? As a husband, God is a husband of all husbands. Or some women, my husband, they don't even take a primary decision. Their mother has visited for Mugo. Their primary decision is to make sure that this woman is going back with at least something that can push her up till some particular month, or something that she can even share a little with people around her that knew she traveled. They're waiting for, wait, let my husband give me. If he doesn't give me, I can't tell him. And if the man doesn't give you, it's only your mother's transport that you give to her to go. No. Because what? You can't fear a man like that. What you are responsible for, you should be responsible for it. You'll be able to tell your husband, Mama needs this. Mama needs, especially when you know that it is there. Okay? Make the woman happy. It's your responsibility as a daughter to fulfill it. So you can't just ascribe such kind of fear, because God is your husband, and the husband of that your husband you are married to. So why should you be such scared about what you know you are supposed to fulfill, the relationship you are supposed to fulfill to your mother, okay, as a daughter? Okay, so God is the husband of all husbands, okay, and God is the wife of all wives. My wife, every time your wife, when they die, your wife will disappoint you and ask you for divorce and leave all the children and follow a better man. Because you don't let people hear, my wife this, my wife, oh my wife, you talk with me, oh my wife, what is that? Okay, so you have the relationship of a husband and a wife to God. Don't let mere mortals attract you, because you know that God is that relationship that keeps fulfilling you and will never fail you. So when you have all this relationship with God, the supreme soul, the supreme father, you cannot touch him, you can't see him, you can't hear or smell it out, but true, of course, you can come and you can understand him through what? Through meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is yoga. Yoga is remembrance. Remembrance is what? Communion, communication. So this is the way we can purely relate with that invincible being. This is how we can purely understand this invisible being. This is how we can purely hear him or see him through the eye of understanding of what? Meditation. And meditation requires what? Your sixth sense. Some people will say your third eyes, and some people will say your third eyes of understanding, which is not physical, but what? Invincible, immortal. This is only when you have made yourself, aligned yourself, responsible, respond to that inner being, when you are able to what? Get in touch, correspond, relate with this invisible being, that you can have this 7 relationship of love. That is what? Having the relationship with the highest on high. So in relationship, we have artificial love and real love. So all the relationship we have with human beings today are artificial love, because most of them fail us. Not one of them, even if we succeed in this one, we don't succeed in it. It has been like that. So those are artificial relationship of love. The real relationship of love is that which we have with the Almighty Supreme Father, Supreme Soul. So I encourage you today to come into relationship with that divine, who is invincible, who is immortal, who is what? The Father, the teacher, the guide, the husband, the wife, the child, the friend, the brother, the kinsman. We can have all this relationship with him and be fulfilled in other relationship we have with men. When we don't have this full relationship with God, we will be lacking in other relationship we have with men. It's only when we have this full relationship with God that our relationship in the physical can be fulfilled and loving. And that is how we begin to attract people around us. Hey, you see people hovering around people, you say, why are they following them? It's because of how lovely they have related with them. And it's because that particular person is in tune with the divine. Not those who follow people because of money they give, or because they are politicians. There are some others that follow people who are always in tune with their divine, that is God. So we are going to come to the end of the relationship of love today. Ask your question. This is BK Mary Jo channel.